At 5:30 p.m., the mental energy required to choose a meal often exceeds the physical labor of actually cooking it. The fridge is stocked and the stove is ready, but the decision remains out of reach. This friction exists because the modern internet stopped building recipe sites for people who cook and started building them for search engines. Food blogs realized that to rank on Google, they had to prioritize time on page over user utility. That optimization created the current landscape, a gauntlet of autoplaying ads, newsletter pop-ups, and a mandatory personal essay about a childhood trip to Tuscany that stands between you and the ingredients list. This has measurable consequences. While word counts have climbed into the thousands over the last decade, you are frequently burning 15 minutes of your evening just scrolling to find out if you need to buy an onion. For the person standing in the kitchen right now, this digital clutter really delays the actual process of making dinner. The Daily Picks network rejects this SEO-stuffed model. PicksByRecipe operates on a strategy of extreme constraint. Instead of offering an endless searchable feed, the platform maintains a fixed, curated library of exactly 608 recipes sourced from open databases like the MealDB. Because the site isn't designed to maximize ad impressions, the experience is immediate. There are no paywalls, no email capture prompts, and no long-winded prologues. This forces us to consider a different utility for the home cook, whether a small, heavily curated database serves a practical need better than the infinite choice provided by a search engine. When you are exhausted and just need to eat, radical subtraction can be a highly effective and necessary kitchen upgrade. We can evaluate this by looking at how we currently find food online, starting with the dominant mega recipe sites. The input for these sites is high-friction navigation. You have to scroll past layers of advertising and sift through dozens of variations of the same dish to find one that looks reliable. The outcome is access to hyper-specific recipes, like 50 different ways to make a vegan lasagna, often backed by thousands of user ratings. The trade-off is the heavy cognitive load. You spend significant mental energy and time making decisions before you ever turn on the stove. For the weeknight cook, having infinite choice often leads to a state of decision paralysis. Then there are the algorithmic feeds on TikTok and Instagram. The input here is passive. You simply watch high-retention, visually stimulating videos of people cooking. The outcome is a rush of inspiration and the discovery of aesthetic, viral food trends that look great on a screen. But the trade-off is poor kitchen usability. Ingredients are often missing from the video, and you're forced to repeatedly rewind a fast-paced clip with messy hands just to catch a specific measurement. These feeds are excellent for entertainment, but they often fail at the point of actual execution. This leads to the curated approach found on PicksByRecipe. The input is minimal. You look at one daily pick or browse 14 broad categories like beef, seafood, or pasta. The outcome is immediate access. The instructions and ingredients are available the moment the page loads, with no digital obstacles. The trade-off is the strict limitation. You are bound by a small library of 608 recipes and the specific tastes of a human curator. You lose the ability to hunt for highly niche dietary variations, and you won't have hundreds of user comments to validate the dish before you start. Despite its size, the database does maintain variety, covering 29 global cuisines, including Turkish, Jamaican, and Polish. Ultimately, you are trading the safety of infinite variety for the relief of immediate utility. This comparison reveals that for many, infinite choice is a primary obstacle to actually cooking dinner. Relying on a single daily pick or a weekly 5 email changes your relationship with meal prep by removing the research phase. Using a tool like this requires you to surrender total control and accept a suggestion, like a risotto masala fish, rather than searching for one. This approach demands a certain level of culinary flexibility. You have to trust the curator's selection. For the cook who is often paralyzed by variety, offloading that choice to a human curator clears the mental hurdle that prevents dinner from starting. To see if this works for you, plot your household on this chart. The vertical axis represents your need for niche filtering. The horizontal represents your need for low-friction speed. High on the vertical axis is the dietary optimizer. You need to track strict macros or verify every step. If that is your requirement, avoid this platform. A 600 recipe limit and broad categories will likely be frustrating. Far to the right is the overwhelmed weeknight cook. Your goal is to get a good meal on the table with minimal digital friction. This group should consider making PicksByRecipe their default. The constraints of the site are designed specifically to solve your problem. In the middle is the culinary explorer, who wants to try new cuisines without getting lost in an algorithmic feed. For them, the Weekly 5 provides exactly enough variety. A recipe platform succeeds when it returns you to the stove quickly, regardless of how much data it manages in its